I realize you're probably getting sick of videos on this same tractor. I kind of am too. And I was actually working on a documentary video about the British royal family, specifically Prince Harry and his rivalry with his brother, knowing that he's first in line to the crown, and also about the incident several years ago where he was kicked out of a 70s rock tribute band and the shame and rejection he felt from that. No matter how hard I try, he just won't return my phone calls, which is a shame because it was a really good video I made. It was called The Boy Who Could Never Be Queen. So I guess we'll just go ahead and make the best of it and keep working on this project. Well, we didn't get done in the last video, so it was getting over a half an hour, and that's too long. So we're going to go ahead and pick up with wiring up these lights, and I'll show you the old footage first that I cut out of that other video, and then we will go ahead on and finish up here. Now my plan here is I'm going to wire in one of these so you can actually disconnect the wiring if you have to take the top off the transmission again. And that works out handy because there's 3 wires. And there's also a white wire for ground. Should we need to run ground to the fenders, we can make that happen fairly simply. I use this trailer wiring quite often because of this. When I rewire my own tractors, that's how I do it. I think I've said that before. It saves buying a wiring harness, and it looks decent when you're done. So, and the nice thing is, I'm going to have wires that are kind of the same colors as what we're using. I got a green wire and a yellow wire for both sides, and then we'll hook the brown wire to our tail light, and then the whatchamacallit on the other one. Now this is the one that's going to be hard to get to because I wasn't left with a lot where it was ripped. And I will wrap them with tape. I know people don't like my method, but my method is time tested on my own stuff. It holds up. I was going to use the heat shrink connectors, but I'm telling you what, they were $78 for a box of these, so we're not going that route. He won't want to pay that, and I don't blame him. Okay, that gives at least one wire that is nicely wrapped. And we're going to go with the yellow. Hopefully we can get such a thing to happen. Okay, we'll get on there. Come on. Oh, come on. Let's wrap it. Alright, brown, we will go to the red one on this side, and then we will save our white wire for if we need any type of ground situation. Okay, we'll leave that white one hanging out first. We can always add something onto it later. Let's see here. We want to leave enough of it out that we can tie onto it, but not too much that it hangs out and gets caught in something. There we go. I like that. That will work lovely. Oh yes. Okay. Now this side will be easier. I'll get our other plug here. Now I'm finally to a point where I can actually sit down and work, which is nice, because this is kind of a pain. Okay. Green to green. This is our hazard flasher. Actually, why don't we start with a mess? I'd like them to be laid out in somewhat organized fashion. Green, yellow, brown. Okay. Let's start with this one. Sure, everything fall. Okay, there we go. There's one. Let's get that yellow one hooked up. Not very pretty, sure. Okay. And then finally, our blue. And our phone hits the ground, sure. All right. I think we got us something now. Feed it back through to where it goes. What an odd angle you are at, but I do this to prove a point because my test light is here. So first position now, we don't have a ground. Come on, test light. It is fighting me the whole step of the way. There we have yellow in both positions. So yellow and brown, which is our tail light. And then this one we should have yellow, which we do. We should have brown, which will be our tail light. I should still have, on this one, my white light, which I do. But on this one, it should have went out, and it did. So if I turn it back to 1, it comes on, then goes out. So that'll put our flashers out on one of the positions, and that's what we want. The white light, I don't care if it stays on both times. I actually think that'd be more handy. So that's what we'll do. We got to run a new wire to our flasher, so I'll get some stuff and do that. So we're going to splice onto this to supply power to our flasher. I even found an end of green wire to change it over, just like our flashers are. And then for the other end, I will go get another. I have in my service truck the original style plastic ends you've seen me use before. I'm gonna need a bunch of them. I should have just ordered another box because I'm probably running low. All right. So if I go get that, we can put that on, and then I think we're done in the dash. And that will be lovely because I don't need everything tore apart on this thing. All right. So I'll go get that and be right back. Okay, now I like these things because they look nice when they're done. And they look original because that's what they used. And I've talked about them before. You can get them in Napa. It's a GM product. It's in the catalog. You crimp them on and then you put this little dude on and it's insulated. Now, let's see if that actually works. Let's get our test light hooked up correctly. Alright. Yellow, yes. Green should flash. This bulb I don't think is enough to trip it to flash, or the flasher's no good. But usually you have to have quite a bulb hooked up to get it to go, in my experience. It won't just... But we're getting current through it, so that means the wiring is correct. And it should go out with the second position, and it does. Good deal. So now we'll put our missing bulb back in there. And our mysterious wire to nowhere, which I assume was a ground wire at one time. And of course, like I said earlier, I lost a screw, so I guess I'll just put one in for now and I'll hunt some up. It doesn't look like we have but two choices here because the other two are twisted off, so maybe I can find that other one back if I get a magnet. Oh, I might have actually done it. I did. Hooray. Let's loosen this back up. So we got some give. Now can we get it without me dropping it again? Alright. We found it. Nifty. Okay. Now we are ready to run our wires back to the fenders. I actually I'll put these plugs in and then I'll put one piece of tape around them just to make sure they don't get any moisture in or accidentally pull apart. Like I said, I've done this many times before and it works. So that's that way we're able to detach this if we ever need to work on it again. So that'll go to that fender. This one will lay in here and go to this fender. And I even got some stuff to put around it so it doesn't rub. But we'll get the wire run back there. And then, like I said, we can button up this on top of the transmission area. I'll just pull it back to where it needs to go on the fender, and then I'll cut it off up here, wherever that may be. I think right up in this neighborhood is going to be what we want. Okay, so as we can see, I basically got this side done, and I got it laid in here. I want to get a piece of heater hose or something and put around some of this stuff so that it's not rubbing on anything or doesn't even have the chance to rub. I got some loom, but I don't have enough. I got enough to do from here back on both sides. And that'll take us down over there. And we're going to have to make our clamps big enough to support, or not support, but to fit over this loom is what I'm saying. There's enough clamp, it's just not bent quite right. So we're gonna have to open this hole up a little bit here and crimp around it, and then I think we can bolt it right to that bolt again. And then this side will essentially be done till here. We need to then go from the fenders up, but I got my ends put on, so we're in good shape on this side. But anyway, we'll work on this clamp here. I'll figure out something I can put in it and then open it up and make it wider. And we're gonna give this a try. I think it'll find its happy place as we tighten it down. And what's going to happen here? Let's try it like that. And of course, you're in the danger zone. We want to make sure our wire inside is laying flat, since it is in fact banded together flat. Yep, the wire's free inside, so there's no danger of that. Okay, I got some hose here, so we're going to try to cover some of this stuff up so that it does not rub on anything. I probably need to get a knife, but we always do things the more difficult way. So we'll probably head and go with that theme and just keep it up. Okay, can we get this on here? Well, you can't see because I'm probably not in the camera view. There we go. Cut it a little longer than it needed to be, I guess. There. Well, we'll put some of these around to help hold this in place. Oh, let's zip tie this down. Sure. Alright. I think that is protected. I think I also want to put something around this. Will this fit around there? It's mainly just to keep it from rubbing on this line. It doesn't even have to close up very good. I'm not really worried about that. I just want a little bit of added protection. There we go. Now I think we have everything over here done. Okay, well, can we get to the other side? It's not as easy to get to. We'll go over there and work on that now. Well, I just realized that I accidentally switched the camera to photo mode. So when I pushed the button and thought it was recording, it actually took a single photo. And you didn't see anything I did. So that's fine. You saw it on the other side. It's pretty well the same story. Got my wire fed through back to the fender. Gonna put the loom on. And then we'll be ready to close this floorboard up. That's our plan anyway. So that's what we're doing here. I don't want to just show you the same stuff over and over again, but sometimes that's the way it is. That's an odd one. That didn't get, that butt connector didn't get flared on the ends. What is happening here? There we go. Okay, one more. Our ground wire. This may come into play whenever I think I'm going to put flashers back on it, because I doubt that the one that's on there works. So, okay, we got that. Let's get our loom and try to feed that on there. See if it'll follow the path without us having to do a whole lot of fancy work here. Come on. Come on, loom. Come on. Gotta go to the back now and see if it's binding up. And we have just the right amount. That'll get us under here. Alright. I think that takes us to this point where we can get the other panel and lay our floorboard back down. And come on, there we go. We'll have to find whatever assortment of bolts we can. Remember, there were some that were broke off. That one looks like that would be very happy in this hole. And I think we got one left on the front corner and one on that corner that we can use. Otherwise, that's it. I'm gonna find what kind of bolt selection we have here. This one, will that go in there? It gets tight. We'll put that one back there. There's some stuff holding this then. I should get my little mini impact again. That would speed this up a lot more better. But this wrench is laying here, so this back panel actually has 2 bolts in, but almost no one puts the one back in that corner. I don't think I've ever run across one that still had it in it. Okay. Okay, got that closed up. We'll go back and we'll put our ends on our wire we just ran to our fender. And then the wiring will be done until the fenders themselves. One. Clicks that in. Come on. There's 2. That's 3. And those are ready. So that's in there. We got to put it in that clamp, which isn't a big deal. We did that on the other side. So I'll work on that. I do want to say, in one of the videos I was talking about how this tractor only had 1 flasher, and that was odd. I forgot that the guy told me he ordered this with fender tanks, and then he put those on his 1950T, and these are the fenders that came off of his 1950T. So that explains why only 1 flashing light there. I guess he must have ordered a set of fender stripes to put on right away when that took place. So anyway, these fenders have been on here for years, but they are not the original fenders. And that's kind of odd too, because it's only got a single light plate in here. So I'm not really sure exactly what was going on when that happened. Maybe he had Co-op do it and they had some of the right stuff laying around. I don't know. But anyway, that's what the deal is. That's why there's no hole in this fender. So that all makes sense now. Well, again, I guess we'll call this a video. So if you liked it or didn't like it, give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever. Leave a comment if you'd like. And if you haven't already, subscribe. That helps the channel out. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.